Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. And my special guest this evening is Sue Sauro, who is the director of the C.A.T.S Cumberland Area Transit System Program. Sue, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Thank you. Well, I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's
Thank
always
you,
good to see you. I have to tell you,
We
Sue
go
and
back.
Jim and I have been friends for a long time, and we just had a wonderful evening a few months ago when we sat together at Jody Farabella's retirement dinner.
Right.
A lot
That's
of
right.
people there. It was a
Yeah.
really wonderful event.
Yeah, it was
And
really-
we've hung out at Anada's Wine Bar, saw each other there many years
Yeah.
ago, which is a really neat place. But I had the privilege of serving with Jim on the Cumberland County Board of Chosen Freeholders, I guess in fact, I have a picture of Jim and I and Tom Shepard and
When they were called freeholders.
that's right, before they were county commissioners, yes.
Right.
Yeah. I was actually a freeholder and a county commissioner, so, but I decided I didn't want to do that anymore, and I'm glad I'm out of government, and it's good to see you.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations on the position. Now, you had this a while back for a year, right?
Yeah, I did. I worked for Cumberland Area Transit. I was the program director, division head for the county for about a year.
Uh-huh.
And then when I left, I had gone into the nonprofit world for a while.
Oh, that's
and
right.
did
You were at the Elwins Institute.
Yeah,
right?
I did a lot of different things. Yeah, I was and helped with the family business too. I was also working
that's
in the
true,
water
too.
treatment field
Right,
for a long
yeah.
time. So it was nice that the opportunity kind of came back to me, and I'm thrilled to be back because this is probably the most fun job I've ever had. And I mean, really, it's a very what's the word I'm looking for? I feel like doing good for the community. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
I'm making a difference.
Yeah.
So fulfilling. It's a very
Yeah.
fulfilling position, and I just love it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're there, and I know what a great job you do and will continue to do there. You've always had that enthusiasm. And tell us a little bit about yourself growing up. Where'd you grow up?
I'm originally from Delaware County, Pennsylvania.
That's
Some
a nice
people
area.
refer to it as Delco. Went to a huge Catholic high school, and I met my husband at the Jersey Shore. The people from Philly say we're going down the shore, but we say we're going to the beach. And we met in Wildwood, New Jersey,
Oh, no
long
kidding.
time ago. Yeah, and he said he was from Vineland, and I wasn't familiar with Vineland because at the time, Route 55 wasn't even completed.
Right,
And
yeah.
I don't believe the Blue Route was either, but
Yeah,
Route
that's-
55 wasn't completed, and I was like, where's Vineland? But we settled and raised our children in East Vineland, in farm country, and we're
That's
still
a nice
there, and we
area.
just love it. It's just hop, skip, and a jump down to the beach. It takes about 30 minutes to get to Ocean City. And really, we're only about not even an hour from Philadelphia. So
Yeah, that's true. It is a nice location. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about your children, who are adults now, obviously.
Oh my gosh, yeah! The best thing they ever did was give us grandchildren. So-
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
How many
they're doing well. They're very successful. We have a son and we have twin girls, and as my friend, I was telling you that we had the one child and thought, oh, let's have another one, and we'll space them apart so we wouldn't have two in diapers.
Right.
But then the egg split, and we ended up with twins. So we have our son David is 38 years old. He'll be 39 this year. And our twin girls will be 35 in July. And between the three of them, there's 6 grandchildren, but they're all
that's-
boys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're all
A
boys.
basketball team plus one.
That's exactly what everyone says. My sister said it, and my husband said it. Yeah, and so they range. Their ages 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2, and we
Wow.
just adore them.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We have so much fun with them. And the 7-year-old is always challenging me at tennis, and I said chess. And he plays tennis too. He plays
Wow.
golf. But anyway, he challenges me at chess matches, and I haven't beat him yet.
Wow.
No, that's
well,
me.
I'm not very
So-
good at chess either.
That's a
Checkers,
little-
maybe.
yeah, yeah.
Chess is tough.
So a little bit about the kids. Yeah, so the kids
fantastic.
settled. The girls are in Maryland, one's in Baltimore, one's outside of Baltimore, and our son's in Pennsylvania. But they come around all the time. They love coming back to
That's
the
nice.
Sauro homestead
Yeah.
on Trento Avenue out in East Vineland. They love coming to visit and hanging out with
that's nice. And
with Gammy and Pop Pop. So it's fun.
So Danielle and
The twins are Danielle and Dominique, but
That's right.
Dominique doesn't. She calls herself Nikki, and we call her. So we call them Nikki and Danny.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Twin A and Twin B, 7 minutes apart.
Well, and tell us how successful they are. They've done very well.
Well, they have. They have done really well. Our son is a software engineer, and one of our daughters, Nikki, is a pharma executive, and the other one is a child psychologist at Johns Hopkins at Kennedy Institute affiliated with Johns Hopkins down in Baltimore.
Wow.
So they've done really well. The girls went to the College of New Jersey. David went to Polytech in New York. And then our one daughter, who's a doctor, got her doctorate, her PsyD, psychology degree, at Long Island University. So it's nice to have all that behind us.
Yeah, isn't it though? Now
they're married.
Yeah,
they're on their own. It's just a really, Jimmy and I.
You're blessed.
For years we just worked with the business and just made it happen. So they turned out great. The best part about when you tell about your kids. The thing that's successful is they're good people and they're compassionate.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
they got good parents too.
They're compassionate and they're
great.
just great. They're just great people. They're generous and kind, and I just love everything about them. Especially, like I said, since they gave us the grandkids. So.
Yeah, doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you went to a big Catholic high school, and then
I did, and then I went off to a little junior college in Wilmington that later became part of Widener, and got an associate's degree. And I kind of put the rest of my education on the back burner, got married, had the kids, helped with the family business, I had several marketing and sales jobs throughout the years, and I always wanted to get my bachelor's degree. And I finally did, and went back to school in 2010 when my daughters graduated from college. And I said, let me do this online. I went to Thomas Edison State University.
Right, yeah.
It was online, and completed it. And it's 10 years now. I graduated in 2013 with a bachelor's in communications, which opened a lot of doors for me.
Yeah.
It really did. I mean, some people say, you need an education. For some things you don't, some things you do. And I think going from an associate's to a bachelor's is quite a difference. It as far as like any type of pay scale type thing.
Yeah.
And communications is very broad degree. Like you can do a lot of different things. So.
Now, I know you and Jim had the business, at Oak and Delsey in Vineland.
Right. Yeah, we had it actually in a small place behind his parents' house for several years. When I had the twins, I left one of my full-time positions to go help Jim with the business, and then I ended up becoming more of a taken over one of the divisions of the company. We had plumbing and heating, and then we had water treatment. Yeah. So then we grew, and we moved to Delsey Drive, and we hired salespeople, and I did more selling. I really enjoyed. I would consider myself a water treatment consultant, not necessarily a sales person. And I had a staff, several salespeople, and we built up the business, and it was a very interesting aspect. The water treatment involved a lot of learning water chemistry. So we did study that, and we became one of the few plumbers in the whole region that had water treatment certifications, and were able to learn the water chemistry and help people. We did commercial and industrial systems as well.
How long has it been since the business was sold and Jim is now working in Washington Township?
Gosh, we closed up the business, I think it was in 2018, right around the time Danielle was getting married. So we finally closed it up, I think it was 2018. And then we sold the building in 2019.
Right.
And, the water treatment customer list went to we vetted out a few different places, that people that we thought would follow our standards and that type of thing. So that's, I had gotten, Jim and I both had gotten certifications in water treatment from the WQA, the Water Quality Association. And it was part of our lives, So it was nice to, kind of retire. People semi-retire, because people thought we were retired. But then Jim was able to obtain his certifications to become for plumbing inspector and also subcode official. So now he's working full time. We both feel like we're too young to retire.
Yeah. Yeah, and you both have great energy, and you like people. I mean, I know that Jimmy does, and I know you do. I think you could sell ice cubes to Eskimos. You've got a great personality.
He's just saying about my father.
I'll say.
But no, I would definitely be bored if I were
Yeah.
him. I definitely.
Yeah. Boy, that's the truth. Somebody mentioned to me about doing something, and it would have meant that I would have been in an office 8 hours a day, and that's not me. I said, no, I do what I do, and I love what I do, and I'll never retire. You know, I enjoy interviewing you and people that come in, and this is what, you know, and I always, when I taught school, I always said to the kids, do what you love. You know, you got to do what you love.
It's so important.
And, you know, you love what you've done. One of the jobs you had that I'm sure was very rewarding was with the Elwyn Institute.
It
right?
was, and see, and that was the transition from leaving C.A.T.S the first time.
Right.
It was the perfect fit because I would still be, you know, serving people with disabilities.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was
that's
a nice
right.
segue
Yeah.
to go from Cumberland Area Transit, you know, and this so-called senior bus, you know, to working with people with disabilities, and it was a really fun job because I was doing all of the marketing and all the social media and planning all the events, and hard work, a lot of hard work, but a lot of fun events and collaborating with the community, and we really were really successful with some of the things that we did, you know, locally. And then that was just it was a nice 5-year thing that I did, and it was time to move on.
Right.
There were, you know, corporate strategies. People were taking over, you know, they had a parent company that kind of regrouped and kind of moved things around.
What's
So
happened
it's
there?
time
Is
to
it
go.
sort of out of business, or
No, they're still around. I believe you know, they didn't want to continue with an Elwyn, New Jersey. They just
I
wanted
see.
to be Elwyn,
Right.
and everything was corporate, and they wanted to run all the fundraising from there. And you know, it was
Yeah,
fine because I
sure.
was ready to, you know, I was
Yeah.
ready to rock and roll, and I moved on and worked part time, and I still do for the U.S. Census Bureau. I do
Oh, that's
surveys.
nice.
I
Yeah.
did the decennial census. And I also did a little bit of senior modeling, and I also did substitute teaching.
That's
So
great.
as I was this and that, and then when this
Yeah.
opportunity came along, it was nice because
Yeah.
Jim said, you know, it's about time you went back to work full time. You know, and I just laughed. I said, "Aha, you're so funny," you know.
But you love helping people, and I'm sure this is a natural. And when we come back from the commercial message, we're going to talk about some of the great things that Sue does with the C.A.T.S program as the project director of the Central or Cumberland Area Transit System, and we'll do all that right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, third generation business owner. Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, 25, and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Sue Sauro is my guest, and she is the project director of the C.A.T.S. Cumberland Area Transit System. The transportation system is there to provide for, obviously, senior citizens, Sue, but tell us what else besides seniors.
Well, you know, Cumberland Area Transit has always been perceived as the senior bus, but we also take... we also offer rides to the general public.
I didn't know that.
We get grant funding for seniors, and we have other grants for veterans, seniors, persons with disabilities, and veterans, but also the general public. So you can hop a ride, anywhere. You don't have to be a senior citizen.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow. Students, people that work, and they're, we're demand response. We're open for the public. People that need transportation pretty much anywhere they want to go. And there's a lot of people, especially now, that can't afford a car, can't afford car insurance, for whatever reason, and they need to get to work, and they need to get here and there, and it's so nice to have this service available, and we want people to know about us. We want people to know that we're available for them. So not just for seniors and persons with disabilities.
Now, they have to call a day or two ahead, right?
Yeah, usually. Typically, they try to get 2 days ahead. I didn't even bring the brochure with me. How about that? Did I send me? They're 2 days ahead to book an appointment. And if you're a first-time rider, they just get some intake information. You register. We really, we're in the process of examining our software, so we can be a little bit more efficient with getting, with routing software and getting more, squeezing more people into the schedule. So that's all. Basically, you just call. Here's a little magnet that I brought for you with the phone number.
Oh, good. I'll put that on my refrigerator.
Put that on a refrigerator, 856-691-7799 to make a reservation to ride the C.A.T.S. bus. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's an intake line, and our dispatchers will be happy to set you up.
Well, I've run into, I did the homeless, volunteered for the homeless, and a lot of them, obviously, because of lack of transportation, weren't able to get a job. And I was telling Sue before we went on the air, I have two young men that I know who are great workers, and both had job offers but didn't have a vehicle, didn't have any way of getting there, and I didn't know that this was a possibility. So this is really
It is, and I recently was involved in a meeting. I was invited to attend, it was like a Zoom meeting with the homeless organization, and they have a lot of homeless veterans, and they wanted me to present what we have available. And it wasn't just me, but it was also the transportation person from Cape May County and from Salem County, different in South Jersey transportation, to see what we had to offer. So there is a need for all types of people that just don't have a vehicle or can't afford a vehicle.
I know a friend of mine, Ron Durham, who has advanced treads, and he's really trying to find employees. So if anybody wants a job, stop by at Advanced Treads. And I was telling Sue about my two young men that I really like a lot. They're great workers, but they don't have transportation. And he said, Jim, without the transportation, I can't really hire them. So I did not know that this was something that's a possibility for,
It is. And like I told you, another county agency has, the workforce has buses, which we may eventually take over, but there's also fixed routes for people all over the county to get a ride to work.
There was some, I remember, I guess when I was a Freeholder County Commissioner, that there was fixed routes that would go into the industrial parks. Was that through
workforce?
Workforce development, right.
Right.
And help me, who's the wonderful lady at Workforce Development?
Christy.
Oh God, she's as great as you, that lady.
Christy
I
Giulianaro,
just
she's
think the
amazing.
world
Yeah,
of
she's
her.
got she
super.
has a great staff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jamie Gomez, I think, is her right-hand person over there, and they do so much for workforce development that they really don't want to be in transportation.
Right.
So we have no issue with, looking at all the possibilities and taking over Workforce's buses, and we, and add to our fleet, and add to drivers, and add to routes, and that brings us all back to trying to update our software. So I'll be collaborating with colleagues at the next cost meeting, the Council on Special Transportation, which is statewide, and we will. I'm going to look and see what everybody's using, and we're putting out an RFP with the county.
That's good.
We have certain specs that you have to move into the next century with technology.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We want to be able to have the software work for us. A lot of times our dispatchers end up having to manually route trips, and they're still using paper manifests for the drivers. Well, we want to be more modern than that, and have tablets on the buses, and have real-time updates, and even an app, for people who have a smartphone to track their ride. So it's the possibilities are exciting, and in order to get that thing rolling along, we are doing a future of mobility study right now with Rutgers University, and it's a survey that anyone can fill out. It's actually, I have a sample here of the paper version of it, the Cumberland County Area Transit Future Mobility, but I think just up on the screen, your engineer was showing that you can scan and take this survey online, and anyone can take the survey. So we put together a paper one for my drivers to take on the bus for some of our senior citizens that don't have a smartphone or don't have, don't want to fill it out online, and they can fill this out and send it back. We even have the postage paid envelope. Nice. So that is the survey link there. If you want to, you can also just go right online and type in that URL. So. That's really important. And, go ahead, what were you going to say?
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying that this study is going to really determine a lot of things about how we can expand and how we can. One of our biggest problems in Cumberland County is how rural we are.
Yes.
And to try to we have 3 major cities, 3 major urban centers, and then the rest of it's rural, and to get the timing right. And to get these trips,
that's got to be tough from going to Shiloh to.
We have to say no sometimes to people because, we can't be out there by a certain time.
Yeah.
Or, so we want to take on. I'm in the process of hiring a few more part-time drivers. I hired just 2 recently. They're fabulous. Oh my gosh, I was so happy with the two new drivers, and then I'm trying to get 2 more because what happens is then they move up into full-time,
that's
how we continue to keep the staff.
Yeah, in fact, there's 14 municipalities in Cumberland County, and I remember in 1982 I got elected to the Freeholder Board, and I started in 1983, and I was given the Public Works Department, and I was told then there's 540 miles of county roads alone.
That's right.
I mean, so you got a lot of place, and like you said, I mean, not just are they on the county roads, but they got to go Landis Avenue, High Street, all over the place for different appointments to keep for the people. And the good thing, Bridgeton is only 6 square miles. Vineland's 69 square miles. Millville's 45 square miles.
It's just amazing.
It's big.
I rode the bus twice now already with two drivers that were going around Vineland, and it's huge. I was in Millville too. I was in Vineland and Millville, but one of them we went to a senior center. I was trying to promote the study.
I was thinking about that.
And I couldn't get over how far out they have to go, and it's going to take pretty tech savvy updated software to really be able to populate these trips in real time. It's going to be a challenge, but we think we can do it.
Yeah, it certainly is a challenge, but I see where you're moving in the right direction, and it's great to know that it's available to anyone who needs it. It's 856-691-7799 is the phone number to call. Now, of course, you need to give a 2-day notice if you can. Let them know, and it's nice that if you have it. I didn't realize this. We're talking about doctor's appointments, going to the gym, going to the bank, hair appointments, all these things you
Right.
can. And, you know, let's face it, you make a hair appointment, which I just did, and my hair appointment's Wednesday at 4 with Paula. So I know that, you know, at least, well, what I'm saying is if you know you
I
have
think we
your-
go to the same person.
Maybe. She's a sweetheart. And I mean, that's what's nice because, like I say, you're making the appointment. So if you don't have transportation, you call C.A.T.S. and you say, okay, I need to be picked up at 3:30 to
Right,
get
right.
to the hair appointment at 4 o'clock. And, you know, that it's such a wonderful service. It truly is, and especially in the county we're in.
And we need drivers too. We have a great resource with C.A.T.S.
Oh, that's
with
right.
The
I forgot
CDL,
about that.
the CDL course. Kathy Randazzo is the instructor. She sent over one person that I just hired. So you know, we can help them. We can help prospective drivers actually get their CDL license because they do need that for that. And the other thing I wanted to mention, if you don't mind, Transportation Advisory Council that meets quarterly, and we do need to replace some members that no longer can serve on the council. And we're mandated by transit to do all these things.
Right.
So we need to, you know, our grant fund, our funding is managed by New Jersey Transit. So
Right.
if anyone's interested, get in touch with me if you're interested in serving on a Transportation Advisory Council, and I have an application I can send and the bylaws. So that was just one other thing I wanted to kind of ask, let the public know that we're looking for that too, and to fill out the questionnaire, fill out the
Yeah,
driver
that's
survey. It's
important.
really important for us for the future of mobility in Cumberland County.
Yeah, and knowing what the people need. So, and I thought it was a great idea when you go to the senior centers to take that, because most people that are seniors are not quite computer tech savvy as much as
Right. Well,
as
that's what I
being
do. I
able to
like
fill
I
it
like
out.
to visit the centers and even just ride the bus and hand them out.
Yeah, that's a good point, too.
You know, I just think I like to be hands on. I love working with my people, my dispatchers and my drivers and the mechanics. And not that I'm hand on in the mechanic shop, but it's nice to have this staff that, you know. I like the collaboration and working together because it's not just me. Like I have a driver supervisor. He's a trainer.
I
Dave
see.
Johnson's his name, and he's in charge of the drivers and filing any incident reports and doing all the training. He does the PASS training, which is the passenger assistance safety, sensitive
I see.
safety, and training of new drivers, and he oversees all that. And then I have a secretary who's confidential secretary is her title, Shirley, listen to me, Sherry Reed. And
Oh, I know Sherry. What a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's been
great.
like 30 years with the county,
Wow.
and she is also overseeing as a supervisor of the dispatch team.
Oh, okay.
So then, you know, so I have her and then my senior mechanic, and we just hired a new mechanic to help him, who's wonderful, young
that's good.
kid that
That's
really
great.
knows his stuff. So I meet with my management team, and we really collaborate, and we work along with Barbara Nedahan, who's the executive director of the Office on Aging.
Right.
So it's I like creating that team atmosphere,
Yeah.
and that's how you get things done, and that's how you get people to really love their job and work and be open with what their needs are. I care about my employees because I know that if they know somebody that's got their back, they're going to be happy to come to work, and they're going to be happy to do their job.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they are already wonderful. I've stepped into a job where these drivers and dispatch they love their jobs, and they're really, it takes somebody special.
Well, it
some
sure
of the things
does.
some of the things that these drivers have to contend with, like
Yes.
some day to day with people, especially our older riders and disabled riders, and they just do it. I watch them, and they're like, let's go and get them up on the lift and hook up the make sure they're buckled in and taken care of, and they work hard.
Yeah, they
work hard.
really do. We're talking with Sue Sauro, who is the project director of the C.A.T.S Cumberland Area Transit System. We'll be back to talk more with Sue about the great programs here in Cumberland County right after these messages.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Complete Care has some big news to share with you,
We're here opening more locations and offering more services every day.
including our newest locations on Pearl Street in Bridgeton and High Street in Millville.
We're here with convenient, high quality, and accessible healthcare services all under one roof.
We're here just a call or email away.
We're here to provide compassionate care for you and your family.
We're here and we're ready when you are.
Complete Care Health Network, ready when you are.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Sue Sauro, who is the project director of the C.A.T.S Cumberland Area Transit System for Cumberland County. And what a great service. And Sue, one of the things we had talked about earlier was the senior centers. And you had mentioned that when you go, you give them the brochures or the questionnaires to fill out. Right. So you get feedback. So folks, you can then tell Sue and her staff what you like, what you need, what you know,
right, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Like I really do. I want to make it really number one on the agenda is to get out and see the public and to market the service better. And I do plan to visit all the senior centers. And as I said, I've ridden the C.A.T.S bus several times. In the month of May, we had 2 health fairs, and I was able to give out some of our giveaway little merch, C.A.T.S water bottle, and I have a magnet for Jimmy here that I presented to him.
Thank you.
And we have, you're welcome. And as far as marketing, I also created a C.A.T.S Facebook page. So we're trying to promote the Facebook page and get get anything up that we need, to market the service and to let people know that we're here.
Sue, one thing we didn't talk about is the days and the hours. Is it Monday through Friday?
It's Monday, yeah, right now. Mm-hmm. Right now, it's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
And we have employees that do come in a little bit earlier and stay a little bit late, but you can pretty much get a trip between those times.
Gotcha.
And we'd like to expand that. We'd like to see if there's a need to run later and to maybe have some Saturday buses.
Yeah, I was wondering about that
to go
too.
shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but right now it is 8 to 4. Yeah.
So, and they need to call 2 days ahead, usually?
Typically, they'd like to have a reservation 48 hours.
Okay.
So, but it's not really mandatory. Sometimes we can do what we call a work-in. We can, squeeze in somebody for an emergency, especially if it's, like a medical or something like that. We don't do emergency medical transport, but we do people that need to get to a doctor right away if they need to,
Now, how about getting people to the senior centers?
That's a normal, we have normal routes that go to
Okay.
the various senior centers.
I see.
Yeah, typically. We're actually going to be reopening a route that goes down to Mars River Township that was closed because of COVID.
Yeah.
A lot of things happened during
Yeah,
COVID,
that's
and I
true.
wasn't there, but now they're telling me, this is some of the things that happened, and people, so the seniors, that's one whole aspect of C.A.T.S, and that's where the perception is it's the senior bus, because we do all these routes to nutrition sites too.
Right.
Senior
Right.
congregate sites,
Yeah.
and then senior centers. And we had, we lost some of our riders. Some of them want to get back after COVID, and they're asking us. So we do that. So they're pretty much fixed. I don't want to say fixed routes, but the same days and the same drivers pick up the same people. So it's like a deviated fixed route type of thing. And we do we also, want to promote that we do more than just that. And so that's part of our funding is the seniors.
Right.
But then keeping in mind that we have veterans and people that are going to work, and just the general public, wherever,
How many people does a C.A.T.S bus hold, Bill?
Well, most of our buses, I believe right now, there's all different. Some of them are like 12, but some of them are, there's wheelchair, they're all wheelchair accessible.
Oh, okay, I see.
But,
That's great.
But as far as seating, 12 to 14, we just got 2 new buses. They're beautiful. And we have 2 brand new vans. There's one of the vans, and of course they're wheelchair accessible. I think there might be one bench in the back, but in the center is the hookup for wheelchair.
That's nice.
And I was all excited in that picture because I was, all happy to get the new van.
That looks
and
nice.
I did ride it. I drove it to 2 health fairs, 2 senior health fairs that I went to, where I brought the merch. I brought the giveaways and all the information. And so many people were there, were interested to know what else we provide, what other services.
Now that van is mainly for disabled?
That's why I needed it to load in my big
Sure,
boxes
no, I
of
understand,
stuff.
yeah.
So
It's
it's
open,
completely
yeah.
open
Oh,
to
that's
go to
nice.
put a wheelchair.
Right,
Yeah, to put a wheelchair.
No, that really works out
Yeah,
nicely.
it is nice, and we may have a driver, and we do routes outside the county that we go to. Wilmington veterans. Not so much now that there's the veterans in Vineland,
Right,
but we do still go to the Veterans Hospital in Wilmington, and we still go to Camden hospitals.
Oh, wow.
And
Like
we go up to Philadelphia.
Oh, I
Go to
did.
Penn.
That's
So
interesting.
we may have a couple of riders, and the driver won't take a bus up there. We'll
Yeah, that
take
would
a
be
van.
nice to have the
So we
van.
got two vans. Yeah, so it's nice.
That's
Nice to have. It's
fantastic.
nice
I
to
didn't
have that.
realize that you could go to Delaware and Philadelphia
We can.
and Camden and
Right.
be able to go.
Yeah, not on a
wherever they
regular
need to go.
basis.
Right.
But yeah. And, and I said, right now, that if you look at all of our data, you call, you say, okay, well, these are our Bridgeton runs, and these are our Vineland runs, and these are our Millville runs, and we go from here to here, and from here to here, and the outlying townships, and we go to here. And people in Cumberland County understand what I'm talking about. They, so we don't want to be that rigid.
Right.
But we sort of kind of are until
Have
we
to
can
be,
get... Yeah, until we can get the study completed and see if we can be more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
But, we'll have a Bridgeton to Bridgeton run, a Millville to Millville, Vineland to Vineland, but then we'll have a Millville to Vineland. Right. Bridgeton to, it gets pretty confusing. You have and then you're outlying. They're kind of stuck with, these are the only days I can make my doctor's appointment. That kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah,
right.
it's never a dull moment at C.A.T.S.
And as we talk about, there's 14 municipalities in Cumberland County, and 11 are townships. Actually 10 townships, the borough of Shiloh, and then the 3 cities, as we've talked about, where you have the mass populations. But and it's nice to hear that you're going back to Morris River Township, restarting that program as well. And, works out.
Yeah, that ride.
Right.
Yeah, it's nice. And occasionally we'll do a special trip, and it goes through the Office on Aging. You have to kind of we don't charge a fare, so everything's donation, and then we will occasionally do a special trip that on a Saturday, and our drivers will get overtime, and they'll just come in.
Like, where would they go?
Like, every year the veterans they call it Around the Horn, and they visit the cemeteries.
Oh, that's nice.
There's something they do every year.
Put the flags out,
I think it's in May, and they take it's on a. I believe it's on a Sunday, and then another group wanted to have a dance on a Saturday, and that was a special trip.
Right.
So they give a donation for that.
Who gives the donation?
The group, whoever needs the trip.
I see.
Whoever,
the group that wants to go.
We can't compete with, other bus companies.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah. So we don't. We don't charge a fare.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For their special trips.
That is nice, though, that they can do that. And especially we just had the Memorial Day service, and I know that probably a lot of those seniors that were doing that special trip were going out putting flags on the cemetery plots of the veterans who have passed. And
right.
Of course, they have the county veterans cemetery too.
Yeah. It was the word I was trying to come up with was charter. There's charters. We don't compete with charters.
Sure, no, I understand.
So we can't say, we want a bus to go. You can't charter us.
You can't charter you to go to the Phillies game or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what John Shepard does. He has charter buses.
Exactly. Yeah. So we don't. We're just a special trips that's a donation, and we stay local.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the maximum's like 14 on a bus, you think?
Yeah, at this point, I think it's there's bench seats, and then there's room for like maybe one wheelchair, sometimes two. So typically 12 to 14.
Right.
They're omnibuses. They're not huge.
Sure.
We don't have huge buses.
Well, and the good thing, I was so happy.
Paratransit, like Access Link.
Right. Yes. Gotcha. Yeah. And the good thing is that you're able to get the CDL certified people. I mean, that worried me whether they're out there or not. But you did say the Cumberland County Tech has a program.
They do.
That's good. That's great to hear.
And that's where people can go if they want to get their CDL license. I know that. I think they're hurting for bus drivers. They're hurting for bus drivers at this point.
Yeah.
But so I'm assuming that they're pretty busy over there training.
Yeah, I'm sure, because like I said, my friend John Shepard has hundreds of buses and has school districts all over South Jersey, and I know he's always looking for CDL people. And I'm City of Island has their school buses, and Bridgeton has theirs.
Right.
And, and even, I guess, once you have the CDL, you could even do truck driving if you wanted to move up to.
Well, that's an A. That's CDL.
That
that's A, and,
okay.
and we're CDL. We're B, and then our drivers need the passenger endorsement on their license.
Okay, which the truck driver would.
Yeah, and there's a lot to it as far as the drivers and regulations. We. The chain of command would be like the FTA is at the top, Department of Transportation, and then the Federal Transportation, and then below is below DOT is New Jersey Transit, and then Paratransit. So we follow it's Department of Transportation, then New Jersey Transit, and then us, and the transit works with the funding, but also with the DOT drug and alcohol mandates.
Oh,
so that's another whole segment of the program.
Now that marijuana is legal, I was thinking
marijuana is legal for recreational in New Jersey as well as medical, but it doesn't apply to anyone in transit. Buses, trolleys, trains.
Not allowed to use
they are
if you
not
drive?
allowed to
Okay.
use it. No.
All right,
no.
I wasn't sure.
And everyone's randomly tested, and there's a pool. And that's a whole other segment of my job, is making sure that we're compliant with the DOT for drug and alcohol, safety-sensitive employees in transit.
Okay,
So there's
that's
training,
nice to
there's
know.
videos,
Yeah.
there's and then there's a random pool we work with Inspira on the random testing. There's pre-employment, post-employment, post-accident, all different types of testing, but there's random, and we keep a special file locked that has all the DOT paperwork that needs to be kept.
Wow.
And then there's an audit every year.
Yeah,
on
that's.
that.
I guess I should.
And I do
realize
reporting. I do reporting. I started in January, and the report was due. So it was my first thing I did was my MIS data report for the drug and alcohol. And transit works. I work with a wonderful woman, Liz Schneider, who works for M. Bonner, Marion Bonner Associates, and they are contracted by Transit. They're a consultant.
Gotcha.
So they'll come in and make sure we're compliant, and she was wonderful to work with. And basically, they're there to help us, because God forbid we are audited by the feds, which we haven't been, but we're compliant, and it takes a lot to do that. It's just one more aspect of the job.
Wow, that's quite a
kind
aspect.
of a nitpicky kind of thing. It's it's
yeah. Oh, I'm sure it makes seniors feel better to know that their driver's not smoking pot.
Well, not anyone who takes public transportation, any bus driver, trains, buses, planes. You want to make sure they're not drinking and smoking. You know, they make sure they're not taking any drugs.
Yeah, good point.
We learn about all of the major drugs, the opioids and heroin and different. You know, not just marijuana. So
that's true. Yeah, my goodness.
All of the drugs, right? And the drivers watch videos, and we do safety. We do. I did training for DER, Designated Employer Representative, for the drug and alcohol program, and I'll also be taking what's called. Oh my gosh, it's on. It's in my. If I look on my phone, it's on my calendar. The reasonable suspicion training.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah,
the reasonable suspicion, and that's like a 2-hour. That's a 2-hour one and done. The other one is an ongoing, the Designated Employer Representative training. And the county's great. They have all the trainings in place, you know, through our insurance, and also personnel. The personnel department and Office on Aging helps with a lot of the paperwork that's involved in being compliant. You know, the drug testing, it goes to HR, and everybody keeps their. But I have to have this special, just for my division, the DOT file for the drivers. So.
Oh, didn't think about that.
Yeah, just another
another thing to put.
Another day, another day, part of the job. So, and we've been, we've never had positive drug test.
That's great.
Drivers, never.
That's wonderful. To the driver's credit, God bless them. Thank you for abiding and
exactly
makes it.
And
I'm sure they love their job and helping people.
They do.
And, that's something that is. I think we all love helping people, and they have that opportunity to help people that are disabled or senior citizens that really can use their assistance.
It takes a special person to have the patience.
Yeah.
And to the empathy.
Yeah.
And it's so important, because it can be difficult.
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
People that have needs sometimes are difficult, and you got to see their perspective, see where it's coming from.
Yeah, good point.
And just kind of like let it roll off your back.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Don't take it personal.
Don't take it exactly. So
we're talking with Sue Sauro, who is the project director of the C.A.T.S Cumberland Area Transit System that takes care of seniors, people with disabilities, veterans, and even the general public. We'll be back to wrap up with Sue right after these messages.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
Imagine living without pain. For over 35 years, Doctors Beebe and Doyle have helped thousands of people find relief from all types of pain. Millville Chiropractic Center has 4 doctors on staff specializing in hands-on or light-touch, drug-free pain relief methods. The examination, x-rays, therapies, and adjustments are all performed at one location. Schedule a consultation today. Enjoy life without pain and discomfort. Millville Chiropractic Center, the area's #1 pain relief center.
I'm Brian Lankin, 3rd generation business owner. Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
The most important decisions a family can make are usually made around the kitchen table. At DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we believe pre-planning and the difficult decisions you face with the loss of a loved one should also be made around the comfort of a table, like a family. Our friendly, kind, and compassionate staff is committed to helping you get through this most difficult time. In your time of need, trust DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, Vineland.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Sue Sauro, who is the project director of C.A.T.S, the Cumberland Area Transit System. Transportation services provided to senior citizens, which I think we probably all knew that, but also persons with disability and veterans and the general public. And I've learned a lot, Sue, because I didn't know veterans and the general public were included in the Cumberland Area Transit System, which is great to see and hear. And folks, if you have a haircut appointment, or you want to go to the gym, or you want to do banking, or you want to go shopping, you can give them a call.
And you don't have wheels or a ride.
Right, 2 days in advance, and they'll come with one of their nice buses and pick you up. And if you're disabled, they can put you up in the wheelchair and
right.
Take care of you. So it's a service that I'm sure a lot of people maybe have not used. Oh, Sue, it doesn't matter on age, I guess. On senior citizens, they have to be over 65.
Well, they consider senior citizen, I think, over 60. But,
okay.
Yes, there's funding for seniors. So,
Right,
yes, we do look at that data. How we get intake, your age is part of one of the questions on the intake.
And what's tough, too, is we've talked about, we live in a county that is so massive an area. A lot of times, like if you lived in Collingswood, Haddonfield, Haddon Heights, Haddon Township, you can almost walk from town to town.
I know.
But here,
I know.
you got to ride.
Mm-hmm.
And, whether it's East Vineland or Hopewell Township, I mean, there's a long way to go.
It's a long way.
It sure is. And I'll tell you what, I was impressed. I stopped one day to see Sue to drop something off to you, and you've got a lot of people, and your office is off of Sherman Avenue, right?
Yes.
Behind the Evanoff Center. In fact, I was executive director there for a few years.
Yeah, which is now ARC.
Yes, the
and
ARC.
Yes, and the driveway. Yeah, we are a private facility.
Right.
We don't get mail there. It is a private property, but I mean, people can come if I know, they can come and visit if they
Right,
make an
yeah, I
appointment.
understand what you're
But
saying.
we are part of the Office on Aging,
Yes.
and my address is actually Commerce Street, Bridgeton,
Right.
800 Commerce
Next
Street,
to the
Bridgeton. That's
library.
where all the.
Yeah.
But snail mail. If we don't really, there's not a whole lot of that.
Yeah.
But we are just the bus terminal,
Right.
and we are
Yeah.
said part of the Office on Aging, which is in Bridgeton.
Yeah.
And people do come in. I mean, we get deliveries. We get package deliveries. We just don't get U.S. mail.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
got you.
and
Yeah,
my
which makes
mechanics
sense,
get
yeah.
parts all the time in and
Right,
out.
yeah.
Amazon's
Yeah.
in and out, and
Yeah.
FedEx brings
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
things we need.
Yeah, that's nice.
We do get deliveries, but they reconfigured that traffic light.
They did, yeah.
Well, it was our old entrance was so close to 55 on ramp that you could get rear-ended if you
Yeah.
stopped to pull into the C.A.T.S driveway.
Yeah,
and then
that's
I
true.
believe you said Evanoff, which is
Right,
now ARC.
right.
They're right in front of us.
Yeah.
Their building.
Yes.
So they moved it, and now we're right at the traffic light where the hospital is in Spira.
Which is perfect,
So if anybody
yeah.
did need to find us, you just you turn the opposite way of the hospital, and now the driveway goes all the way around and goes all the way to the back. But we
Yeah.
are locked. We have a gate. We are.
Right, yeah.
During the day we're open.
Yeah, 8 to 5.
Yeah, and I have an office there, and I welcome guests all the time.
I guess, I've been back there when
Because you
I was
went
a
back, you
freeholder.
did when you
I
dropped
did.
you dropped off those
Right,
tickets
yes.
for my birthday for
Yeah,
the
happy
Phillies
birthday.
game, and they won.
Yeah, so you better go more.
They were losing, and they won
Came back
just
to
for
win
me.
it. That's right.
Yeah,
they
they
said,
came
Sue,
back
we
to
got to
win
come
it.
through for you. We don't want to let you down.
Yeah.
But I do remember Judy Truman, and I remember going back there when I was a county freeholder before
Right.
they became county commissioners. I actually was part of the Office on Aging was one of my responsibilities. And
right, you're the liaison.
Liaison, that was it. Yes, thank you. I knew there was something.
Yeah, Right now, our liaison is Commissioner Romero and Commissioner Musso.
Yeah, I knew.
Yeah, and Commissioner Romero has been to see me several times. He's come to the office.
Tony and I go back 40 years.
Isn't that something?
He was so helpful. In fact, I met Tony with Teleprompter Cable. My partner, we started a cable company, Clover Cable, was Joe O'Donnell, and Tony was Joe's right-hand man. And when we got started with the cable, Tony was there helping us, doing all kinds of stuff. So I really have some great respect and really appreciate all that Tony did.
He really enjoys the Office on Aging. I don't know what other responsibilities he has as a commissioner, but Carol Musso, she's been the liaison for aging, I think, for a long time.
Yeah, she and I were sharing that together.
Of course, C.A.T.S is part of aging,
right.
and we go way back to before she was even in politics, before she was even mayor. She was mayor of Deerfield Township.
Right, yeah.
We met when our children were babies in the mall and found out that our daughter's identical twin girls had the same names.
Yeah.
So that's we still kid around about that to this day. And I think her girls are married, and I think she's a grandmother now too.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it's nice. We're like Cumberland County's like a nice little small,
everybody
large
knows
area,
everybody.
but small town. Everybody knows everybody.
And in Vineland, I think everybody's related one way or another.
Well, funny story. Said earlier in the interview that I was from Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
So the science teacher, Mr. Hogan at St. Mary's School in East Vineland, where my children went, said to me one day, "I didn't know that your kids were cousin to Brian." It was my sister, my husband's sister's son. He went there too. I didn't know they were cousins. And I said, "Oh yeah." I said, Brian's mom is my sister-in-law, is my husband's sister." And he said, everybody's related to everybody in the school. All the farming families, Bernazzi's, and they name all the families. Everybody. I says, well, don't look at me. I'm from Pennsylvania. He says, well, then you're good for the gene pool. And that was that. That was his take on East Vineland, the farmers, and like they said, everybody's related to everybody. When they say that, I'm like, oh, God, no, don't look at me.
Speaking of being related to everybody, Carrie Curley is my cousin. And Joey Baruffi is his son-in-law.
That's right.
So I had Joey on with me one day interviewing Joe because he was mayor of Buna.
Right.
And we're talking, and I'm talking about all these people I like, from you guys to Perellas to Dorellas to, people up in his area and all that. Right. And he goes, Jim, what do they all have in common? I said, they're all Italian, and I love them. And I didn't think about that, but look at Finucci. Yeah.
Finucci.
Well, I have so many, and that's the truth. I look at the people in Vineland, including you and Jimmy and people like that. I just really like, and there's something about the Italians. They're warm, they're friendly, and they make good pasta.
We went to Italy, and we thought
aren't they wonderful in Italy?
People on earth.
I swear I've been there too. It's like, oh my God, they were felt like it's like family. Everybody's family. Yeah. Well, Sue, thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome,
and
Jimmy.
Tell your handsome husband I said hello.
I will.
Hopefully, we'll have you back sometime soon.
Great, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, George Kachia, for engineering the program today here on Around South Jersey. My special guest has been Sue Sauro, who is the project director of the C.A.T.S Cumberland Area Transit System, and we'll see you again real soon. Take care, folks. Have a nice night. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22 and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.